Yo, still Mills, what's the deal, man? I just left the little glasses place, man, and whew, fuck, I can see clearly now, man. I had to go to an eye doctor or whatever, get a new prescription or whatever, and they dilated my eyes. So I got these shades up under my glasses, but they gave me some new glasses with a new prescription, and good God Almighty, it's a much better prescription, man. So I'm finally headed to the crib. But Pete gang, we got to get into this shit, man. And that is what I just saw on, like I said, man. As long as you on Facebook, you always gonna have something to talk about, man. And I'm on these boxing spaces on Facebook, man. And what I just saw was real egregious, bro. A female in the ring with a male who identifies as a woman. Man, listen, at some point we got to mature and come to the realization that there's a genetic difference between our species. And there's people who are childish and just I don't see a black man or I see a human being. You're a human being. That's offensive to me because I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my lineage. You dig what I'm saying? Just like I'm sure Spanish-speaking mestizos, they're proud of their heritage. They're proud of their indigenous heritage. You dig? Why would you strip that away from them? That's the uniqueness about us being human beings. You dig? I don't understand when it became such an impediment to say that I'm a black man or you're Asian. You dig? Or you're East Indian or you're Arab. I don't know when that became such a fucking ailment. That shit is weird to me. You dig? So they play these games, man. In the animal kingdom, there are multiple species of the same species. We can't ignore biology, man. Your genetic makeup is gonna tell the story as to who you are. There are different types of sharks. There are different types of whales. There are different types of plants. You understand? Different type of trees. The spruce tree, a pine tree, a palm tree, an oak tree. There's different type of ants. There's different type of bees. There's different types of flies. There's different types of snakes. There's nothing wrong with difference. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why the fuck it's such a fucking it's such a castigating thing to point out differences in our species. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. And because of that, people have gotten into this mind state where just it's wrong for you to tell somebody who was born a certain way that you're not what it is that you feel that you are. So I'm wrong. I'm the dickhead if I'm not about to honor a dude who identifies as a woman. Now, if you are a trans woman and you stay in your lane, I don't take issue with that. You dig? If you are a trans woman and you just feel like that, to exist within that realm, that paradigm, it just soothes you. All right, cool, go for that. But the minute you cross over and decide that you want to start invading women's spaces, I take issue with that. Why? Because I have two daughters. I have nieces. I have relos. And I just care for I just care for the safety and well-being of women. It's all we live in a wild world to where men are invading women's spaces at an all-time high, and in the same breath taking their rights away to decide what it is that they can do with their body. Male politicians are doing this, all while allowing males to infiltrate their spaces. It's really a demented and warped reality that these motherfuckers is trying to create, and I'm not about to fall for the matrix, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm staying rooted in reality, man. Right is right and wrong is wrong. It's a reason why when you go out, when you go. How many women are on the police force as opposed to men? How many women are in the military as opposed to men? How many women are firemen and paramedics as opposed to men? Your biological makeup is telling you who is the stronger species between the two. And, from a physical standpoint, because men can't do what women do. We are incapable of giving birth. I don't give a fuck that dumb shit that Deontay Wilder was talking, some years ago, talking about he wants to He wants to feel what it's like to give birth to a child. No, he doesn't. There's no man who can endure that type of pain and type of trauma. You dig? Postpartum depression is real, bro. That shit is real. But fuck, before we even get to all that, the contractions, having to deal with the contractions, our body isn't equipped to deal with that shit. This is eons of women adapting to that. You dig? They're taught and indoctrinated from a child. This is what you're gonna have to continue to, keep our species in, in circulation, bro. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around it. You dig? So I don't know when it became such a bad thing to tell men that you're not a woman. I don't know when that became such a bad thing, and then that's transitioning to where men can, they're justified in participating in their spaces and in their sports because they can't compete and cut the mustard with men, men in whatever sport that they're competing in. At least the chick who decided that she wanted to be a dude and go compete in boxing against men, I can respect that a little bit more because that's she's an anomaly. Most women don't want to do that. You dig? If a woman is taking on a male persona, she's butch. She's not about to jump into no fucking arena with no men that, in a sport that's dominated by men. She's not going to do that because she still understands. Man, listen, my homegirl is the baddest chick off the north side with the hands. She trains in all that. She done crash niggas and all that. But she'll even tell you, man, please, I ain't in there trying to be fighting no niggas. She'll fight you and fuck you up. But even she like, man, I ain't trying to be in there fighting with no niggas because she understands it's a difference between male and female. Biologically, you do not get to ignore biology to exist in a psyop. You don't get to do that. You do not get to do that. You do not get to do that. And where we are as a society right now, it's just real heartbreaking to see what they're allowing to be to be justified and accessible, bro. There's no reason any man should be in any woman's spaces from in sports. I'm a newly diagnosed diabetic, and I lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks, and I want to stay around 200 pounds. I want to be at 200 pounds even. So I was happy with losing that and getting down to 200 pounds. But when I got up under that, I was like, all right, something's off. I got to go to the hospital. When I went to the hospital, when they hit me with them IVs, I ballooned back up to 204 or whatever. The point is this: I lost my muscle. And when I went to work back out again, not just in the in the ring, but in on the weights, because I like to have a bulky type of look to me. And when I got up under that money, off the couch, I yacked 250. That ain't shit. 250, all right, cool. Hit that 2 times, all right, I'm good now. And I molded, I sculpted my body to the point where after a month of working out, I will already see results. To where I'm like, all right, I don't need to work. I'm fit now. You dig? I'm fit. I got my definition is back, my cuts is back, and everything. I'm straight. So I won't need to go through a whole year of training just because I'm not trying to put on no muscle. I'm as muscular as I want to be. But when I went downstairs and got up under that money, and I could not yak 250. 235, I ain't never felt that bitch made in my life. Never felt that bitch made in my life. But here's the kicker. That's an astronomical figure to lift for a female. That is an astronomical figure. 250, 235 on the bench? You a girl? That's incredible. That's incredible. And I'm not saying that that's what the strongest woman lifts. Like, I don't know what the world record is for females in the bench press. I don't know. It could be 300. I don't know. But the point is, the majority of women who work out and who are power lifters are not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to yak that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There is a biological difference between men and women. There is no getting around that. There's nothing you can do to usurp that. There's nothing you can do to bypass it. It just is what it is. It's a reason bouncers, the majority bouncers in the club are men. It's a reason for that. Even the studs who go out, and they carry on the male persona. Whether they want to rap or they that one chick who wants to sing, the stud girl who wants to sing and all that shit. It's a reason why they don't go and hire other studs to be a security guard, unless it's one or two of them. Unless it's one or two studs, but they will be completely usurped numerically by men who are fit and in shape and of a certain height. If you ain't 6 foot and up, you at least in shape as a 5'6", 5'7", 5'8" man. You're husky. You know how to handle yourself in combative situations. Y'all do not get to just ignore that shit. To live in this utopia of men can be women and women can be men, bro. That is very dangerous, treacherous territory to impede on, and y'all just refuse to acknowledge that is a minefield, bro. That is a minefield. It's fucked up because it's the women who are competing in these sports who suffer from it. You policy pushing motherfuckers who think that it's okay and it's acceptable, they're the ones who have to suffer through that shit. There's going to be a problem when the WNBA start allowing trans men to play in their league. And they getting tomahawked on. And they getting windmilled on. And they getting easily backed down into the paint. It's going to be problematic. Y'all are going to see how bad, y'all going to see how fucked up that shit feels, man. When they can't keep up off the break. Y'all going to see how that shit feels. I don't know listen, if you are a dude who wants to transition into a woman, you're going to have to accept your role as a transgender. So create a lane for yourself and y'all compete amongst each other, man. Do not inconvenience women with your false sense of insecurity, bro. You do not get to tell us that we have to accept your delusions of reality. That's foul. Do y'all not care about women? All the bullshit that all the women's rights and everything y'all been fighting for all of these decades. Now all of a sudden that shit goes to the wayside when it's a man who's going through gender dysphoria. That's fucked up. My heart goes out to them, but at the end of the day, man, we can't, nah, bro, we can't sit back and be silent on this shit. We can't sit back and be silent on this. That's foul. That's foul. A woman getting her brains beat out by a dude because he can't cut it as a man. He can't cut the mustard amongst other men. Leah Thomas can't swim. I don't even know that nigga name, his real name, because I damn sure wouldn't be calling him that. Fallon Fox, I don't even know that motherfucking real name. Otherwise, I wouldn't be called. They can't compete with other men in their realm of sport. So I identify as a woman. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I fucking hate it, bro. Man, y'all niggas is bitches for that. Bitch made, bro. Man, if you can't compete with other men, then being a professional athlete just isn't for you. You're gonna have to take up tutoring and taking someone up under their wing. And hopefully you can mold them and guide them into what it is that you want it to be. You're going to have to live vicariously through them. If you're not a selfish son of a bitch, but y'all are selfish son of a bitches. I despise y'all dudes, man. I really do. I really do. I despise where society has gotten us to, to just accept somebody's warped sense of reality. We have to accept that. And we wrong if we decide if we refuse to live in this bullshit utopia that you want us to live in. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I got daughters, I got nieces, I got loved ones who are females and they want to compete. They want to play sports. Why do they got to be punished? It's acceptable for them to be punished. They got to go through all this wild shit. Because you policy pushing motherfuckers are trying to make it acceptable for men to be in a woman's space. Oh, testosterone blockers and estrogen pills and all that bullshit, man. What happens when they say, yo, man, I ain't gonna take this shit? You acting like people don't cheat in sports as is. You talk about boxing, all the fucking ped scams that we the ped scams that we done came across in these past few years in itself. You don't think it's above a dude who wants that much more of a competitive advantage to say, yo, I'm not gonna take these pills? It's unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable. You bitch ass niggas, y'all accommodate these motherfuckers, and because y'all live in a false sense of a false fucked up diluted reality sense of reality, the competitors are the ones who suffer for it dearly. They suffer dearly. They suffer dearly. It's not cool, bro. It's not cool. You don't get to sit there and just beat on no woman because you identify as one. I don't give a fuck what you identify as. Your biological makeup is gonna tell the story as to who you are. You are a man. Fucking act like it. Be a man. Because that's all you can be. And it's a beautiful thing to be. That's gonna sound insensitive, but I don't give a fuck because it's insensitive for y'all to take y'all dude ass over there and intervene in their spaces when they don't even get the same recognition as a man. I think it's very because y'all are trying to find a way. All right, well, just I'll bring attention to their space, but in the process of you bringing attention into their space, you're gonna eventually push them out because if people do take a liking to that, to seeing dudettes, seeing dudettes play in these leagues or whatever the case may be, it won't be for the biological women. It'll be for the genetically modified women. You want to see a woman, you want to see a motherfucker in a wig come down the court 360 and then tomahawking on niggas. You want to see that shit. And there's not a woman alive who can give you that. There's not a woman alive who can give you that. So in the sense they do bring that attention to y'all, y'all are going to be ushered out. Biological women are going to be ushered out. That's fucked up. And I'm not sorry for saying none of this shit. The fuck, just I don't know, man. Just the disrespect for womanhood. My mother's calling me. I'll hit her back. The disrespect for womanhood and femininity is just, it's putrid, man. It's putrid. It's putrid. I'm online, man. I was at work a couple of weeks ago. I was telling somebody else. I'm at work a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to the gas station. And as I'm at the gas station, this dude is, he's getting signatures for a petition that he wants to sign for motherfuckers over and it has to do with abortion. And I'm listening at first, and I'm a pro-choice type individual. I do not support abortion. I do not support it. I do not support abortion. I was like, Coach, right there. Oh, that is, Coach. I do not support abortion. But I'll be damned if you're going to tell somebody that they can't, by law, they can't do this to their body. I'll be damned if you're going to tell somebody that. So I'm getting the petitions or whatever, and I'm thinking it's a pro-choice. He said pro-life. I don't know, just, that pro-life thing got a little, convoluted or whatever in conversation. And you got it's just saying that if you're pregnant 5 months after, you can't get a abortion if if you're pregnant 5 months. He said some other stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. And as I got my name, I got my signature and the date and one more thing, and I just need one more piece of information to put on this petition, and I'm good. And I'm like, hold up. Because he started explaining it to somebody else. I had to hear him explain it to somebody else for it to really hit me. Like, oh no, this ain't it. I'm like, hold up, homie, what's this shit about? And he got to explaining, and as he was saying it, when he repeated it to me, then I got it. I was like, I can't support this, man. I can't support this because it starts as a good. Now, granted, I'm not favorable of women going around and just getting pregnant and then getting rid of the baby. No, I'm absolutely not. I'm not in favor of that. But it also comes, it's like colonialism, man. When people go in to set up shop in somebody else's country, they come with goods. They come with education. They come with food. They come bearing good, they come bearing, what's the word I'm looking for? They come bearing somebody's necessities, food, medicine, education, shelter, clothing. They come with all that shit, man. But they don't understand that it's a wolf in sheep's clothing that's coming to get you up out the paint, completely strip you of your resources in your land. They're coming to do that. They're coming to do that. That's been done a multitude of times over history. Go ask the indigenous people up here about the smallpox blankets. It's real sinister. So they're gonna come bearing, they're gonna come showing, good deeds and virtue and all that shit. And then when you let your guard down, boom, here comes the other bullshit. That's what this shit is. That's what this abortion shit is. So where it's not, they're not gonna give a fuck if you they're not gonna give a fuck if you were raped. They're not gonna give a fuck about none of that shit. Now the child has nothing to do with the rape, but the child is a byproduct of rape. So me looking at you, as if speaking from a woman's standpoint, me looking at you is going to remind me of the trauma that I went through to conceive you. It's no shade at you, but I can't live with myself. I hate the individual that forced me to make you, and I may take that out on you. And as harsh as it is, you got to be able to sympathize with that and say, yo, I can't be mad at her for feeling like that. You can't, because you can't. The average motherfucker don't get raped. So how dare you sit there and tell her she has no other choice but to put her life on the line to bring this child into this realm of existence. She has to do that and be reminded on a daily basis on the traumatic experience she was exposed to. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's subjugation. All laws are not, law, just because it's something that's practiced and put on the law books, that doesn't make it just. That doesn't make it righteous. So when you are talking about invading women's spaces and not only telling them that you have to accept this bitch ass nigga as one of them, but you have to accept what these other bitch ass niggas are telling them what they can and can't do with their body, that shit is sinister. And that's how I feel about it, man. Stay out of these women's spaces. Stay the fuck up out their business, man. If you are a dude who identifies as a woman, you go and you work towards creating a lane for those like you so that the playing field is even. With this big LGBTQ movement, that's more than enough. That's more than enough support that you'll need to garner the support. To garner the support that you need to sustain that lane. Stay out of these women's spaces, man. You niggas is bitches for that. Cold bitches. And how dare the Olympics allow that shit? How dare anybody allow a man to compete in a woman's space with our biological makeup? You can't do that. You cannot do that. Shit is sickening, man. You niggas is gross. You niggas who endorse this shit is gross. There's no justification and explanation for this shit, man. This shit is corny. This shit is whack. All you dudes ought to be a fucking shame to yourselves, man. Nah, bro. You listen, man. Me and my sister had this conversation just last week, and I said what I said. I said what I said. I don't hate y'all. I do not hate y'all. I hate your mindsets, though. I hate your mindsets. Because you're not a woman. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. You're not a woman. You will never be a woman. You will never be a woman. I don't give a fuck how much they splice and dice you and allow them to strip and clip you and dig up in you to create an artificial womb. It's not happening. You'll never be able to spit a baby out, bro. Doses.